And the story of the Holy City begins around 1000 BC in the land of Canaan.
In 1000 BC, the major kingdoms were the Egyptian kingdom to the south and the Hittites to the north. This land of Canaan in between, that was just a battlefield that the big boys came to duke it out on. Canaan is the land that the Israelites believed that God gave to them as the land that they were to inherit. The problem is that there were already people in Canaan, the Canaanites. According to the Bible, God commands the Israelites to kill every man, woman, and child there, what we would call today genocide. And so you can see how in a modern setting, that might be cause for contention between people who might say, this wasn't your land to begin with in the first place.
After conquering the lands of Canaan, the Israelites settled into 12 separate tribes, united by their shared belief in an early form of Judaism.
The 12 tribes were divided. There were huge rivalries and feuds between them.
And it's during this period that the Israelite tribes had a lot of conflicts with the Philistines, who were their neighbors.
Philistines were Israel's arch enemy. And it's important to remember that the only history we have of the Philistines was written by the people who fought against them. So the fact that they have become sort of a synonym for being boorish and uncultured is because all of their histories were written by their enemies.
But in fact, they were very sophisticated people. They were expert with sword and shield, technology and fighting.
And these guys are conquering all of the cities that they're coming across. They're marching eastward towards the Judean highlands. And then you've got the Israelites spreading out towards the coast.
After a series of wars with the Philistines, including a very bad defeat, the Israelites decide that they want to have a king rule over them.
People are stronger when they're united than when they're divided. And ancient Israel realized that as long as they were separate tribes, they weren't going to be very strong.
And therefore they decided to elect a king. And the king they chose was Saul.
Saul had the advantage of being a military man and also being very charismatic. But he was insanely paranoid about his position. You know, there had never been a king before. There wasn't any sort of lineage that he could hang his legitimacy on. And so he was always terrified, once he became king, that it was going to be taken away.
Shortly after Saul is named king, the Israelite and Philistine armies meet at the valley of Elah.
The Philistines say, look, you pick a champion, we'll pick a champion. The two champions will fight each other.
The idea being that whoever won the one-on-one battle, the losing army would serve the winner. And that might be a way of sparing the massive loss of life on both sides.
What the Israelites don't know at first is that the Philistines have Goliath. And Goliath is described, sometimes he's 9 feet tall. He is this almost mythic hero. He is this supernatural force.